The moon hung low in the inky sky, casting a feeble light upon the desolate landscape. The house loomed ahead, a decrepit mansion with windows like vacant eyes and a doorway that yawned open like a hungry mouth. An aura of malevolence clung to the air, sending shivers down my spine as I approached. My friends and I had heard the rumors, the tales of a haunted house that stood as a silent sentinel on the outskirts of town. Tonight, we dared each other to venture inside. The front door creaked open with a sinister groan, as if welcoming us into its dark embrace. The air inside was thick with an unnatural coldness that seeped into our bones. A stale odor lingered, a mix of mildew and decay. As we stepped into the foyer, the door slammed shut behind us, sealing our fate. That a flickering candle on an ancient table cast dancing shadows on the peeling wallpaper. The house seemed to breathe, its creaking floorboards echoing like distant moans. We exchanged nervous glances, the bravado we displayed outside dissipating like mist in the night. The staircase beckoned, its steps groaning under the weight of unseen footsteps. We ascended, our breaths catching in our throats with each ominous creak. The walls seemed to close in around us, and the air grew thicker as we reached the top. A door at the end of the hallway stood ajar, revealing a room cloaked in darkness. We approached cautiously, the floor beneath us feeling like shifting sand. With trepidation, I pushed the door open, revealing a room frozen in time. Dust-covered furniture draped in white sheets, as if the room had been abandoned in a hurry. A sudden gust of wind extinguished the candle we had brought, plunging us into darkness. Panic gripped us as we fumbled for a match, the silence broken only by the distant groans of the house. When the match flared to life, the room revealed a new horror. Faces, twisted in agony, stared at us from the portraits on the walls. Eyes followed our every move, and the air vibrated with the sound of mournful whispers. The room seemed to breathe with a life of its own, the walls pulsating with an otherworldly energy. One by one, the faces contorted into grotesque masks of despair. A chilling voice echoed through the room, a spectral lamentation that sent shivers down our spines. "Leave this place," it whispered, a sound that seemed to reverberate from the very walls themselves. Ignoring the warning, we pressed on, drawn deeper into the heart of the haunted mansion. We entered a room bathed in an ethereal glow, its source an antique mirror that reflected our terrified faces. As we stared, the reflection changed, revealing images of a long-forgotten family trapped in a perpetual nightmare. The room grew colder, and the mirror frosted over, distorting the figures within. The faces contorted into expressions of unimaginable horror, their eyes pleading for release. A guttural moan emanated from the mirror, a chorus of tormented souls trapped within the spectral realm. A door creaked open behind us, and we turned to find a staircase leading down to the abyss. The air grew colder still as we descended, the darkness swallowing us whole. We found ourselves in a dimly lit cellar, surrounded by forgotten relics of a bygone era. In the center of the cellar stood a decrepit wooden door, its surface etched with cryptic symbols. With trepidation, we pushed it open, revealing a subterranean chamber adorned with flickering candles and arcane symbols drawn in blood. In the center lay a decrepit altar, a vessel for unspeakable rituals. The air became dense with malevolence as a haunting figure emerged from the shadows. A spectral presence, cloaked in tattered robes, hovered above the altar. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and its voice echoed through the chamber, commanding us to leave the cursed mansion. As we stumbled backward, the door slammed shut, trapping us in the subterranean chamber. The candles flickered wildly, casting grotesque shadows that danced on the walls. The figure extended a skeletal hand, its bony fingers pointing accusingly at each of us. The air vibrated with a chilling incantation, sealing our fate in the accursed house. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the chamber, and the room began to warp and twist. The walls closed in, the air thickened, and the boundaries between the living and the dead blurred into a nightmarish tapestry. Our souls became entwined with the tortured spirits of the house, condemned to an eternity of haunting whispers and spectral groans, and so, the haunted mansion claimed yet another group of unsuspecting souls, its dark secrets buried within its decaying walls. The moon waned in the night sky as the house settled into an eerie silence, waiting for the next unfortunate souls to dare disturb its restless slumber.